What's up, y'all? It's Art Set here. Like I promised, I'm gonna do a mixing and mastering from basically start to finish. I'm probably gonna skip past a few methods. Well, I'm gonna show my methods, and I'll probably do a little bit of skipping because if I did this whole track, be recording for days. Recording for hours, really, not days. But so to start off with, I wanted to go into Pierce White's question about studio monitors. Um, if you really wanted to get into making sure that you have a good mix, studio monitors, you have to have them. You have to have them. I believe that compared to just regular speakers, they really give you an up-to-date view on the frequencies that are being used, and some really good ones. I have some I have some M Audio BX5A studio monitors, and they're pretty good. I like them, and you can get you some Rocket 5s or 6s. Only thing about, I think Rocket 5s, the bass, since the 5-inch woofer that it has, it really it gives you a lot of the mid sound, but the bass is kind of hard to hear. It doesn't give you an accurate bass frequency on those, not as much as the M audios. I mean, they're still good. I think they probably give a clearer high end than the M audios. So I mean, you have pros and cons. 8-inch, your BX8s or your Rocket 8s or whatever, any 8-inch speaker for your studio monitor. That's you're pretty good. You I mean, that's as good as you can get, because you're getting your mid, you're getting your low, and you're getting your high. You're getting all three areas, and you're getting accurate readings through those monitors. One thing to note, TWE even mentioned this. Monitors are directional speakers, so you have to make sure that they're in a direction that you can hear everything that you need to hear. I wish I could kind of show you a picture. I was trying to find one, but maybe if I find one later, I'll put it in one of my other parts of the tutorial. But yeah, you want them. You want them a little distance away from you. Yeah, well, I guess it really depends on the make and the model too. So when you do get studio monitors, I would really pay attention to the manual that comes with it, because usually they have their best use scenario of how far your speakers should be from you and where they should be positioned. But make sure they are at least facing you and at a catacornered appearance. So you want them to appear as if there's a crowd around you staring at you, if that makes sense. Or if they're on a stage and you got your left side and your right side and they're both staring at you. It's just like when you go to a concert. That's how they are there. That's how they're the speaker amps and all that. That's how they're placed there. So you get an overall sound. That's kind of how these monitors are. They're directional like that. So if you want to get the full brunt. And also another thing that TWE was talking about was how the bass bounces off the wall. If you're trying to get a full sound, get a full bass sound, realize your acoustics of your room, and it takes a lot of. I mean, if you just walk around your room while you're playing something, you can tell where the bass is hitting the most based on where the speakers are positioned. And you can also pad the room with, like a quilt or something. I mean, that's the cheap route. Just some type of nice size thick cloth on the walls, so that helps absorb a lot of that sound that's bouncing around, so you can get an even more accurate reading. That's what soundproofing the room is. Okay, so I hope that answered that question. But what I tend to do though, first off, wanted to apologize to Bianca for her mixtape. I mean, I guess it sounded all right, but it wasn't really my best master. I only had 2 days to master 13 songs, and you really don't want. That's not gonna happen. I mean, in a perfect world, you're not going to get a great master from 2 days of mastering off 13 songs. That's not going to cut it. One thing, Pierce. Again, like I said, you need studio monitors, but you also need. I would also get, have some monitor headphone speakers, some little piddly little earbuds. Because one thing about the earbuds and your iPhone is that, they have a lot of mid, they focus on the mid and high end of the frequency spectrum. So, it might, something might sound good on your monitors, but the mid and high frequency might bleed through on the headphones or iPhone or something like that. And also, I mean, if you got a car, if you got a friend with a car or something, always test out your mix and master in a car. Because if it can sound good in the car, then you got a good mix and a good master. I mean, because that means it's universal now. So if you can touch on all of those mediums, that's what you want to do. But I'm going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and show you how, what the process that I take to try to achieve that sound. So, all right. So here's a track that I've been working on. Just a little experimental track here. I have a mixtape coming out that I want to that Yagma and I are gonna do. And we're looking for some MCs to really, spit knowledge, because we want this to be a mentally stimulating mixtape. Well, I mean, I've been waiting on this for a while, man. I'm glad that Yagma is, gonna do this with me, man. I can't wait to get started on that. But yeah, This track that I'm working on is kind of like a preparation of the kind of stuff that I want to do with him. So, yeah, there we go. So right now, I have a sample here. I have a few instruments. I have a bass instrument here. Try to give you that full sound. Also have a few other instruments and sound effects and things like that in the next parts or whatever. But what I usually like to do when I mix is I section off each part of the song. Excuse me, sorry, my notes. I section out each part of the song and mix each part individually, and then I listen to the whole track to make sure that nothing is overcrowding the spectrum or anything like that. So yeah. All right. So here we go. This is how it sounds right now. This is one little part. So, as you can hear, well, to me, I can't really hear everything that I added. Everything is, there's nothing on the mixer. One thing I think I need to mention is the fact that every instrument that you have needs to have a fruity balance. And I'm working at FL Studio. If anyone works in different other DAWs like Pro Tools or whatever, I'm sure there are some tools within those DAWs that are equivalent to what I'm using here. So you may not even need a balancer on Pro Tools. I don't know, but with FL Studio Fruity Balance, you need to put that on every channel that you have an instrument coming through, because what this does, it balances each channel so that no channel is overcrowding the other, and so you get, that gets you started on achieving that full sound that you're trying to achieve. So I'm gonna play this one more time and single out a lot of the different instruments so you can hear what I tried to add. So. So, for right now, that's all I have playing, like 9 different instruments right now. I got a hi hat, nice little, just some other sounds, trying to experiment with, man, and excuse me. So, those are all playing at the same time, but you can't really hear everything like you want. So, I'm gonna start off with the kick and the bass. I think that was one of the questions about making the bass line noticeable. All right, so one thing that, let me bring up this image here. All right, shout out to Antonio for finding this image. It's a great image too. I'll provide a link to it. Actually, I'll upload it to the discussion group and the producer network. So, but yeah. So here's a diagram of where different instruments sit on the frequency spectrum. It kind of shows like their hot areas. Their the red represents the mid area of the mid area of a certain instrument. Yellow is the high harmonics. I'm sorry. Red is the fundamentals. And what I mean by fundamentals, excuse me, are kind of like the what's the best way to explain that? I guess the brunt of the instrument. Harmonics, this area brings out a certain sound of the instrument when you're trying to harmonize with different basically when you're using different instruments all at the same time. You're trying to bring out certain elements of the instruments so you can hear everything all at one time. and you're bringing out frequencies, so you can do that. You bring out frequency from one, and you take out the frequency from another. So one shines through, and the other, you can still hear the other. But you also, most instruments have different frequencies that they peak at. So you can add to one and take away from another, and not really take away from their peak frequency, if that makes any sense. So yeah, this is it. I'll provide it. I'll upload the image later today. All right. So first, I'm going to work on the kick and bass. I just realized well, at least I can show you how to add channels to add instruments to mixer channels. So usually just highlight the instrument that you're trying to use. Right click on the channel, go to link selected channels to this track, and there you go. I apparently forgot to include one of the instruments on a separate track. Alright, so we'll start off with the kick for right now. This is what you do. Again, we're going to use the peak scroll method. We're going to scroll through using a peak to kind of pinpoint where your peak frequencies are in an instrument. Usually, one thing that I do like about parametric EQ too is this visualization here. You can kind of tell where the strong frequencies are based on how light this chart gets, or I guess chart. I'm trying to think of a better word to describe what I'm trying to say, but I can't. Sorry. So here we go. Usually I use band 2 and 4 to bring out the kick frequencies, and 3 and 5 to negate frequencies for the brought out frequencies in the bass that I'm going to show you. So I'm gonna do this and then stop here and start a new video. But so here we go. One thing that I do, the smaller your peak is, I usually go to 4%, but the smaller your peak is, the sharper your response to your frequency is going to be with an instrument anyway. So you do this for every instrument. So you see how I scrub across. Put it at 59. You see how it gets loud and you can hear when you scrub across. I'm gonna put it at 59, but I'm gonna do it again just so you can hear. Alright, so and now that you found a good frequency to use, and bring that down to probably 2 dB. Depending on, it really depends on how good your kick is. So I guess I'm gonna put it at like 2 dB for right now. Alright. I also want to bring out, because of this track, Depends on the track, but I want to also bring out the low mid of this kick as well, because I'm wanting that Mad Lib type, kick, that, just that, that kick, man, that neo soul type kind of kick, man. So basically gonna do the same thing. Yeah, I like this for this area. Okay, so I'm at what? 111. All right, and I'm taking note of the frequency that I'm using, because what I'm going to do is when I get to the bass, I'm going to take out that same frequency, so these two frequencies shine through a little bit more. All right, with the bass, because you want them to play nice together. All right, and I'll probably put this at 2 as well for now. All right. Another thing that I do is I add a fruity free filter. I don't know what the equivalent for this is on Pro Tools, but I'm sure there is one. I mean, because you have your type here. I use a low shelf for it. So basically, this is one band of this is basically one of these. So a free filter is basically just one of these. It's just one band here, and what I'm doing is bringing out this kick even more by going to I'm using low shelf. If you want to know what low shelf is basically, this is already set to low shelf. What happens is when you lower this, you lower it to negative dB, so that means that everything after wherever you lowered it, you're still going to hear a negative dB, negative 18 dB from that. So it's not totally cut off, but most of the main main levels are cut out. But it also keeps this lower level. This is good for if you're, I'll get into that when I discuss it, but when you're mixing vocals, it's good for someone that has a really deep voice, and they have a really deep voice and a kind of really loud mid-low voice, like Odell. He has that. So I use, instead of using the high pass to cut out everything, I use a low shelf so I can retain some of that lowness, but cut out a lot of the muddiness. So yeah, that's what low shelf is. All right, go back to a free filter. So I usually put it to around 357. The Q is basically the curve. The Q is the curve amount, the peak amount, and I set it to probably a quarter of the way, and 7 dB gain. So you hear the kick a little more. Obviously you're gonna have to level this out. But we'll get into that soon. All right. Now the bass line. Same thing. I'm gonna use the parametric EQ too. Since the parametric EQ, since the frequency peak for the kick is 59, I'm not gonna use 59, obviously, because that means they'll be battling each other, and that's not what you want. So set this to 4% again, and just gonna see where. Okay, I may use that. I'm thinking I'm gonna use this for my mid, but all right. So 47 right now. So I'm gonna put that again to 2. Use a 4 band to bring out that mid that I think that was 88. So I'm using the same process. That's why I'm not talking again. I mean, use the same exact process as I did for the kick, and use the same process for all your other instruments. So, you know, this is the same process. All right. So now that you have that, now it's time to take away from each instrument. So let's start with the kick. All right. So one of the peaks is at 59 hertz. So what I usually do is take band number 3, and I set that peak to like 2%, and I move that to 59, and bring that down 2 dB, and you can see where that is right here. This is your best friend when you're trying to figure out what you're doing. It'll tell you. The second band 4 is 111, so I'm gonna use band 5 for that. Again, set that to 2%, and 111. There we go. And set that to -2 dB. All right. Okay, so now for this, I think this is set at 47. So again, I'm gonna take band 3. Set it 2% peak. I say 47 and 47. 47. -2 dB. Alright. And 84. Take band 5. 2%. Sorry for my nose. Goodness, I think I have some allergies or something. All right. 84. Oh, you little bastard, you. For some reason, won't let me get on 84. So I'm going to use 83. So as you can hear, you can hear both. You know, you hear the bass line and you hear the kick, and you know, they're both clear right now. I can probably do a little leveling, you know, once I start to add in the other instruments and things like that. But you know, that's how you get them to play nice together. All right. If you wanted to, sometimes what I do is I also add a TP Basslane plug-in. Kind of accentuates that lower bass line for you even more. That lower bass frequency, I mean. Bass is still coming through, you know, so that's how that works. All right, and stop here and continue on in my next tutorial. But that's how you get those two to play nice together. All right, see you soon.